Assalamualaikum everyone.
Assalamualaikum.
Welcome back to our podcast. Today is episode 9
Of Ammi and Khala.
Yeah, almost 10 episodes in.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Fist bump, air bump.
Yeah, I'm too lazy for that. But yay, we're long distance fist bump. Today is going to be a fun episode because we're talking about a lot of unpopular opinions, Muslim Women edition. But before we get into this, please do subscribe to our socials. YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Handles will be down below.
Yeah,
somewhere.
we're still working on Apple Music, and honest, to be completely honest, we're
Hopefully
not
by
working
this
on
point we have figured out because we are pre-recording
Yeah.
our episodes. So yeah.
So inshallah, if that's up, then you will know down below. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about unpopular opinions when it comes to Muslim women today. A lot of these we have gathered from the internet.
Yeah.
And also some of these are ours. Oh my God, my throat's bad. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're going through 6 of them, okay? These are actually so fun. I'm so excited for this because I love unpopular opinion. I love some tea. I love some arguing. So this is good. Opinion 1. Okay. I'm so excited for this. Okay, opinion 1. The rishta process as it exists today sets marriages up to fail.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, okay, let's dive in, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's free up our hands, grab a cup of coffee, or almost done coffee, and let's chat about that because I feel like we were coming from a really unique place because neither of us did an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
But we obviously observed a lot of arranged marriages or the rishta processes, and we know what goes into a rishta process, like the expectations, what we're looking for, and all that stuff. And maybe we can't 100% speak to it because again, our experiences were different. We didn't have arranged marriages. What's your opinion on why it sets brown girls up, or not just brown girls, Muslim women up to fail? We're gonna talk specifically about South Asian community.
I think first of all, I don't want to say this is specific to Muslims, but the rishta process in general, there's a lot of high expectations put on a girl herself. Okay, not too much is expected out of a boy. Especially let's even start off with just the superficial, very shallow stuff, like the looks, can she cook? Just everything that.
Is she educated?
Yeah, even if she's educated, she should know how to cook and take care of the house.
Yeah.
By the way, and this is not me telling you, but this is the expectation of our society. And then what happens with that education afterwards? In a lot of cases,
Goes in the cooker.
that we've seen. Yeah, I think there's a new show that started, Dr. Boo.
Yeah. Oh my God, are you watching it?
No, I need to start watching it.
It's gonna be a good. It's like if you've watched Nur Jahan, right?
No, yes.
The one with the boys
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
mom,
yeah.
boy mom. That kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie. That show really did scare me because on one hand I'm like, oh my God, power mom, she's got these boys under control. The other hand I'm like, I don't want to be this mom.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it's sort of like that, but the father is the
Yeah.
thing. Anyway,
But anyway, coming back to the rishta process, first of all, they start off with scrutinizing the crap out of a female. Okay,
Yeah.
she has to look a certain way, she has to be of certain color, she has to be of certain height, all that BS, first of all. And the amount of pressure that puts on the female, let's say if I were in those shoes, and if I was getting rejected or canceled left, right, and center because of just the shallowness of that,
yeah.
it would have such a huge hit on my self-esteem and self-confidence.
Yeah, it places a lot of value in things that don't matter in a marriage.
Yeah, because again, unfortunately, it shouldn't be like that, but it is like that, we seek validations for those things from the outside.
Yeah, you know why I personally think it sets marriages up to fail is because when it comes to the rishta process, the family of the boy is shopping around
for the girl
for a new for a new household object.
Yeah. A housekeeper. I wanna
Housekeeper,
say.
household, yeah, just a new thing in the house. They're shopping. Like
Yeah.
literally, when you go to a bazaar and you're like, oh, like, will this look good in our house? Like, like nib jati kya,
Exactly.
like, all that
How
stuff.
is she going to show to the outside world? Like,
Yeah.
is she going to be a good fit for our family?
What are people gonna say? Is this gonna make our status? Is this gonna make people like say good things about us or like envy us? Like, like loga jal jana, like, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, khoobsurat, itni khoobsurat
khoobsurat
bachchi
ho.
hona, loga
Yeah,
jal
exactly.
jana, like all that sort of.
You know, the first place where like the failure starts and begins with is, I have not seen it ever happen actually in any of the rishta processes that we have seen, is like there's no question about deen.
Yes,
There is absolutely no question about deen, especially because the man is the qawam, right? He's supposed to be the leader and set the tone for that, the marriage, the leadership, and it's so important. And I cannot stress that enough, that you need to question. That should be the first thing on your list to question. That,
yeah.
I'm not saying like you have to be perfect, but like, where do you stand with your relationship with God, and where do you stand in terms of your faith, your deen, right?
Yeah.
And what are you willing to put towards that? Because that is your end goal, right? As a couple, as a married, husband and wife. And unfortunately, nobody brings that up.
I feel like this has been going on for so many generations now, and the divorce rates in the Muslim community, I know, like even in the specific South Asian Muslim community, is going up because women are being like, okay, this ain't gonna fly. Like, like if you're not gonna do your bit, then I'm gonna leave you, which is good. But this is the same point you brought up, where the men aren't getting questioned, like, or the daughter's family is not sitting down and be like, do you pray 5 times a day?
Yeah.
Do you have the taqwa of Allah? Like, that's if a man has God consciousness, if he has the taqwa of God, he will treat your daughter right.
Yes.
Okay, because he will have a fear of God, and he will follow the word of God, and he will treat your daughter right.
And not going to the things that he shouldn't be going into.
Yeah, that, and also like he'll know he's responsible and stuff like that. But because we have placed such a high priority on, like, oh, what the
superficials.
Just the status of the guy, like, is what kind of a visa is he on?
Yeah.
Like, what's his education?
Or how much
is he
money
earning?
is he bringing, right?
Yeah, which is, again, I understand that from like a security point of view. Like, you want your child or you want your daughter to go in and be provided for. I understand that bit, and like it's fair to question that. But then again, like, when you're the character bit, the deen, like, all that stuff also plays in. And because like men have been like, they're like, oh, it's been going on for generations now, so men are not raising up to the challenge, because they're like, oh,
this is how it's supposed to be.
The expectation
this is how it
from
has
us
been for all these years. So like, why should it be any different now?
Yeah, not even that. Like, no one holds them accountable.
Yeah.
For them, they've seen generations of women like just staying in the marriage for the sake of just staying in the marriage.
Yeah, without questioning.
Yeah, and like forgiving and like, like tolerating and all that stuff. And the men never really got it. I honestly think it's kind of unfair for the man as well. And I think a lot, the big chunk of responsibility goes to the women.
Yeah.
In the man's life, because you are babying your child so much, you're not making him responsible, accountable, and obviously a father definitely has a part to play in this as well.
100%, yeah.
The raising of the child.
Yeah.
But the mother's lack of, like the mother's love sometimes just does too much damage than
I feel like
harm. I mean,
that's also where like it really starts. It's like your immediate family, your parents, holding you accountable for your actions.
Yeah.
And
or lack of action,
and also teaching you about the responsibilities, especially going into a marriage. It's a big thing, man. People like take it for granted. I feel like also that, oh, this is just another checklist on your
and this starts way
item
before,
on your checklist.
This starts way before, like, when a guy is getting ready for marriage. I honestly, I only have 2 boys right now, like inshallah we'll have girls as well, but I'm thinking into it, like Kareem is 3 years now, like they're growing up so fast, and like the changes in them, I think this honestly starts from childhood.
It does. No, it does.
Because you have to instill that independence in them, you have to instill a confidence in them, because you need, your son needs to grow and be like, hey, I am the man.
Yeah.
I'm responsible, not just like, oh, I'm the man, like I can do whatever. But no, I am the man, hence I have this responsibility, hence I have this expectation that I need to be a certain way. Not because like I'm gonna be a husband one day. No. Not because you're like whatever, but because God made you someone, because like again, like men have qualities that women don't have, women have qualities that men don't have. And you need to address that. But as young as the kids are, like like 4 or 5 even.
Yes. And I think it also, like when they're that age especially, they're learning a lot, absorbing a lot from your marriage.
100%. Yeah.
So both mothers and fathers' role is equally as important.
Yeah.
When you're raising a boy especially.
Yeah.
That like I feel like for some of us, we have this thinking that they're so young, like even if the parents don't have a healthy relationship, okay, let's say, and they're having arguments and stuff in front of their kids, first of all, that shouldn't happen. And they're like, they're kids, they're not like, it's not going to affect them. It 100% affects them. Okay, they are absorbing all that energy, the negativity, the toxicity, and it's subconsciously training them.
Yeah. And it also, like, I'm not saying this obviously has, your child is also going to do the same thing, but it 100% affects how your child is showing up in their relationship.
It does. Yeah.
What expectations, what experiences, what triggers, and like, whatever they're coming, not just for men, but also for women, like
even for women,
how they're coming up and showing up in their relationships.
Yeah.
So I feel like the ideal, what would you say is the ideal rishta process? She has your oldest girl is 10 years old.
Yeah.
Let's say in 15 years down the line, you're looking for rishtas.
Yeah.
If you're looking for rishtas, what is your rishta process?
For me, in my case, I would see how is the man. Like, again, the first question I would ask is the deen, the character, because the way he's showing up in his deen says a lot about a man's character. And after his character checkbox is like good, like I feel like he's in a good place, then I would question, like, like what are you studying, or like what is your goal in life?
Yeah.
Even if he's not like at a certain place when it comes to like income, like I want to see if that guy has the desire, the drive in him to work towards a certain goal. Like I feel like as a man, especially because Allah has put that responsibility on you to be the provider, the protector, the maintainer for your wife, and then inshallah for your kids, you need to have that goal-driven mindset.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be my second thing on the list. And then I would see like what kind of family background is he coming from? Because that also plays a lot into, like how he was brought up, like obviously I can't tell how he's going to show up in the relationship, because, it's a learning curve for everyone when you get married. But you can kind of gauge from the upbringing that he has had as to like how he's probably going to, like take this relationship further. So that would be like my first 3 steps.
Yeah. I also feel like there's a lot of work that needs to be done before you even start the rishta process. Like you're looking at your own child, like, is my child ready to go into a marriage? And what does my child need to be ready? Like, if they need to like, obviously, like everyone has their flaws, or like everyone has their triggers, or like whatever. Like make sure that they're independent, make sure they're confident, make sure they're going into a marriage where they know that they can speak up for themselves, make sure that they know what's right and what's wrong. They know what's right behavior, what's wrong behavior. And if they have any traumas or triggers that you know of, like make sure they're seeking help before they even start that rishta process,
100%, yes.
Yeah. But yeah.
Also, I feel like because both men and women are in the working force now, and women are making as much money, or if not more sometimes, as a man does. And so, like, having that as one of the initial checkpoints, I feel like it doesn't serve the purpose anymore, because again, you're both working, you're both putting money on the table. But a man still, I feel like, because Allah has put that responsibility on you, just because your wife is bringing in income, like you can't be comfortable with it and take a backseat and be like, okay, you know, like this is our income kind of a thing. Because, you know, even if the wife is willing to pitch in, that's sadaqah from her side, you know, unless you have an arrangement and you know that you both are gonna do it willingly, that's a different story. But like, it should never be an expectation on your wife that, okay, you know, you're earning, so you have to pitch in a certain amount. So a man should be able to step in and step up and be like, okay, no, you are my responsibility. This is where I need to be the provider. And if you are willing to contribute out of your own will, that's a whole different story. You know?
That's one of the reasons I feel like a lot of rishtas, even if they're not rishtas, like even love marriages are kind of falling apart because the women, like, first of all, these days they are not dependent on a man. Because, you know, if anything, they're better off without a man. And if they feel like they are, and they'll be like, yeah, I am better off without a man, so I'm just gonna leave him because he's not raising up to his responsibility. But I feel like I may have a different opinion when it comes to that, but we'll get into that in a different episode.
The other reason also I feel like I want to add though is a reason why we see a lot of divorces these days is because women are responsible to cater to men's baby emotions. You know, like they've been babied too much, and that weight has come onto the wives now, and the wives are like, why am I taking care of a man-child? You know, why am I taking care of a man-child?
Especially when you already have kids.
This was not your place to teach someone to do anything at that age. Okay, like that should have been your parents' job, and if they haven't done their job right, then it's not on you.
Which is why it comes back to like literally 4, 5, 6 years old. Teaching your kids to be independent. Opinion 2. Opinion 2. Choosing not to have kids or fewer kids is valid and gets unfairly stigmatized.
Because a lot of people go into marriages, again, like with a checklist in mind that, okay, you know, I'm married, the next step is to have kids. And even if that's not your next step, that's an expectation of your immediate family and the extended family and all the aunties and uncles that shouldn't be involved, first of all, into this decision making. That, hey, when's the good news coming?
I do want to add to this unpopular opinion that having few kids or no kids is stigmatized from the older generation, but I feel like the younger generation also stigmatizes people who choose to have more kids. People who choose to have like multiple kids. They're like, oh, in this economy,
like me.
I feel like people look down. People think like, oh, why are you choosing that for yourself?
Like only 1 or 2 kids should be enough.
But like, or like, you know, in this
I wanted more kids.
I personally, I never thought I would want more kids. But after becoming a mother, I want more kids than I originally thought. And I do feel like I sense judgment from like friends sometimes when I do mention that, like, oh, really, 4 kids in this economy? Like, I do.
First of all, nobody has a say in this. This is your personal matter, like very, very personal. It should be a decision that only you as a husband and wife make. Not even your parents, not his parents, nobody. Okay? But yeah, like I feel like, again, no kids or less kids is also okay. Because at the end of the day, it's what you want for yourself with your husband. Maybe you have different priorities in life. Maybe like your past experiences are such that, again, like sometimes you just don't want to have kids because of what you've seen or what you've grown up with. And even if that's not the case, maybe that's just not on your list. You know, maybe you just want to travel. Maybe like you have other goals that you want to achieve, and kids are not part of that goal. And
or maybe you just don't like motherhood. Or fatherhood. Like that's completely valid as well. Just want to quickly give one example. I had a past manager I had worked with. She had one child, and then she went through like horrible PTSD. Okay, and she she did not enjoy being a mom. She she was not up for it. Like, obviously, that doesn't mean you don't love your child. It doesn't mean you provide and take care of your child. But
Yeah.
she did not love it. She did not love being a mom. And I remember at that time I wasn't even like married. Obviously, didn't have kids either. And I would be like, no, like you gotta have more kids. Like you gotta give her a sibling. Like it's not fair. But and now look back, I'm like, it wasn't fair for me to say that.
Yeah.
Because she was also hearing it from a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But she's like, she genuinely did not enjoy motherhood. Did not want to be a mom. And she's like, no, I am drawing the line at one kid, and that is all I want. And that is completely fine.
Yeah.
That's completely fine.
Yeah. Again, like you cannot speak for someone. You know, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what their situation is like. So this is just not your space to speak.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say something, but I forgot.
It's okay. Comes back, let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Opinion number 3. The pressure on Muslim women to keep the family together is disproportionate and unfair.
Yeah, no matter what happens, you are the one that needs to be the glue to keep it all together.
Yeah, even if the guy is doing all the breaking, or even if the guy's doing all the damage, if you decide to say, hey, I don't want this damage, you are the one that's breaking the family.
Yeah. You're
not the man who did the damage.
Yeah, you're going to be the one that's questioned, like, how dare you?
Yeah, you're the one that didn't have sabr.
Exactly. Oh my God, sabr. Sabr is thrown left, right, and center in your face, I feel like. And then you're given examples of all these women who have had sabr for all these years and not questioned a single thing. You know, they went through so much. They went through this and that. And like, look at you. You're speaking up just because you go through like again, your problem, whatever you're facing, is minuscule so much.
Yeah.
Which again, should not be the case.
Minuscule. Look at you. Okay, yeah. I forgot what I was gonna add. Damn it. No. Also, I feel like keeping the family together, right? I feel like we also need to redefine what it means to be a family.
Yes.
And what it means to be a healthy family. And that needs to be like a standard that, like, you know, people persist on, even if homes need to be broken.
I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw it in your faces. Just because you two live under a same roof, and you have a toxic relationship, and you are saying you're doing it for the sake of your kids.
No, you're not.
That's not the marriage you want your kids seeing growing up.
You're doing,
and that's not something you should be putting up with in the first place.
Exactly.
Because first of all, you owe it to yourself, and you owe it to the kids that you chose to bring into the picture. They shouldn't be seeing,
to protect them.
Yeah,
and to embody, literally embody what a healthy marriage and family should look like.
Yeah, because this is what is training them to choose in the future for themselves.
Yeah.
Because if you portray that in front of your kids that, hey, we're not talking, we're not really a husband and wife, but we're still under this roof. Why? Because we are a family. That's not a family, first of all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. I think we're at opinion number 4. Muslim women are expected to be strong and soft and patient and ambitious. It's an impossible standard.
Again, it comes down to everything being dumped on the women, right? Like I mentioned, I think it ties back into the first point that we talked about. Women are in the working force.
Yeah.
Unlike previous generations where, you know, like the roles were like they were supposed to be, you know, man was the provider, woman was the home taker or homekeeper, and that dynamic was different. But obviously economy has shifted, the world has shifted. You know, also women want something for their own self, which is completely fine. And so you have that, especially also like once you become a mother, like you have to be the mother, you know, you have to be the nurturer. You have to bring in a certain income to sustain that livelihood of yours. You're supposed to be the emotional caretaker, right? Regulating, helping everyone regulate their emotions. You are the one carrying the mental load of everything. Yeah, there's just so much more that's on you.
Yeah, I think like these days, this whole like girl boss or strong women specifically the strong women, like we're talking about Muslim women in context here, the strong women Muslim trope is doing more harm for the women than good. Yes, there's empowerment that's there, but I feel like we are pushing ourselves so much, and like even with burnout, we're like aiming for like the impossible, where it's doing more harm to us than good, and it will reflect on future down the line. If not for you, then it will reflect it on your kids.
100%. Yeah, I feel like it's about time we go back to the traditional roles, I know this thing was trending lately on social media. The trad wife.
Yeah, I want to be a trad
dude
wife.
Like that's what it's supposed to be. Like that is how it's supposed to be,
unless you don't want it, unless you as a woman don't want that, then that's your business.
That's a different story then. But like I can speak for myself at least, that as once I've become a mother, like especially in those first few years, like I want to say 4 to 5 years, you just want to be present with your kids. And just nurture them, and like fill that bucket for yourself and for them, because otherwise you're not feeling, at least I am not feeling fulfilled in that aspect. Because I'm also grinding a 9 to 5, and I feel like sometimes like juggling both roles, like you're not doing justice to either or. But unfortunately, that's life now, with the economy, with everything that's going around. What do you feel like though?
I just feel like we just don't give ourselves enough grace, because we're in this like hustle, like you gotta make it yourself kind of a thing. Like there's no particular people we're proving it to, except like
yourself.
The society who like, who are we doing it for? We really gotta like, I think we, at the end of the day, we need to disconnect with social media a lot. Dedicate like no scroll days for yourself, and just be with yourself to be like, what do I want? And if that is the life that you want, then go for it. But if that's not, then choose. Should couples live separately from in-laws from day one? Yes or no?
Yes, and yes. Okay, I remember my daddy actually made a comment when she heard that like we were moving out. And like after 6 months, that alag ho ja rahe. Like why, like was there an issue? Like, why are you guys moving out? This and that. I'm like, no, like this is how it should be. I feel like that
Islam
really
tells you that.
That like Allah says that like a wife deserves, or like she should have a place of her own, and
privacy.
Privacy, and it helps you grow as a couple. Especially in that first year, man, it's rough for majority of us, and you are trying to figure out who you are, let alone adding a whole new person to the mix. And if you don't have that space to just fight, argue,
you need to be able to fight. I think fighting is so important.
It is. I didn't even know how to fight.
No, I feel like, it's important to fight.
So, I feel like from the get-go, you need to have your own place. It doesn't have to be anything fancy and grand. It can be something like small, whatever's in your budget. But if you are able to, I would highly recommend get your own place from the get-go.
Should mothers go back to work after kids? Is it like a personal choice, or is it like, because I know a lot of community or society also tells like, oh, like wapas kab ja rahe, like, or sometimes people are like, oh, like, she's looking for work, but then like they'll speak on behalf of the mother. What do you feel? I feel like we have different opinions on this. This is the last one, by the way, and then we'll wrap up.
I think again it has to be a mother's personal choice. Also in tandem with your spouse, your husband, because what is your vision as a family? Like, do you want your wife to stay back and be the nurturer that she needs to be for your kids, for your family? Because that's a huge investment, like bringing up your kids. Especially in this day and age, I feel like if I were to choose, I would choose that for myself, staying at home and nurturing my kids. Then yes, I would maybe eventually do something for myself too. I'm not saying I'm just going to sit back, because it will drive me crazy, insane. You know, like I feel like I need to fill my own bucket too, but it comes down to your personal choice. But no one should be speaking on behalf of you, but I also at the same time feel like people are speaking on behalf of others because of the economy, maybe, and they see that one income household can't really survive.
It is really hard. I think it is really hard for a one income household to survive, because I feel like sometimes even with two incomes, you're living hand to mouth.
Hand to mouth, yeah. I think
and to expect like the man to bring in like, even if he's bringing 100K and be like, no, like it's not enough.
100K after taxes is
nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Like where is he getting all that money from? Like, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
So I think it's really difficult. To maintain that, but it's so tough. Like, I think it's every time I hear a mom that's going back to work, I honestly feel for that, because it's so hard. After going back to work with like a baby, it honestly makes me want to cry, because the mental load, the physical load, everything is so hard, and you feel like you're split between two people, and you have to like always sacrifice each, like either the motherhood part or the employee or whatever part. You can it's really hard to be fully content. But I think at the end of the day, it's your situation if it allows it, and also like your personal choice. And a lot of people don't have the choice. A lot of people just can't just be at home and not work. So up to you.
What are your thoughts? Let us know an unpopular opinion related to Muslim women in the comments below. All right.
But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.